I am done. It is 5 after 10. I'm on my way back from Mohawk. So there was a little overlap. As you guys know, we have our house in Guelph, and Dominic's family is up for March break. I didn't realize that we were all going to be back here at the same time, and I had told Dom he could stay at my house. So Amy's like, "Are you that dumb? Like, why wouldn't you think of that?" This is my fault. It's not a big deal. The hotel right beside her house has a little water slide and a little pool. Addie loves it. The kids love it. I said, it's fine. It's not a big deal. We'll stay at the hotel. I want to make sure the kids can have fun. We can get up. I'm going to get up in the morning, go to the barn early, get work done at the barn. I got to go to Mohawk. Then I'm going to come back, and I might go into the pool. Maybe I want to go for a little swim. Then we'll go get lunch and go back to Ohio. That's the plan for today. So I get up. I got back to the room last night at 10 to 12. I think it was late. By the time I want to talk to Dom about the Philly last night. So you guys saw the update from last night. Everybody raced great yesterday. Foxy Seaside was flat, and it only took a matter of 20 minutes to figure out why she bled, which is fine. That's fine. You can put her on Lasix. It won't be a problem for the rest of the summer. I don't have to worry about addressing it in July or August. It's done. She's a little vulnerable to bleeding. No problem. She can go on Lasix. Not a problem at all. She's not a bad bleeder. She's already won 4 starts or 3 starts without Lasix. It's not a problem. But you know what? She's going to need a tiny little break before the stakes start, so that's fine. She needs 14 days to go on the Lasix program in Ontario. Give her 20, 21 out in the field. Bring her back, train her up, prep her here in Ontario again, race her once or twice, and then Bob's your uncle. She's off to, I don't even know what that means. And then she's off to Ohio to start her stake season. Now, as of right now, I'd say she's a decent Buckeye filly. She's got a ways to go to creep up into that sire stake level, but she's a nice filly. There's no two ways about it. Throw out last night's race. She was a 3 out of 5 for blood. Pitch it. Means nothing. So the total body work of this filly has been incredible this year. She's going to be a nice filly for us. Rosetta was amazing, and I told everybody this is why she's here, to learn how to trot on a bigger track. It's exactly what she did last night. Great job by Harry and his team. I know they've had a slow start to the season. You guys have to understand. Just step back and look at it. You know, Dominic struggled through the fall into the winter, right? When you don't have the power for here, this is one of the toughest tracks in the world. When you don't have the power for here, you're going to struggle. We did our best to get horses here, keep horses here, move horses here. And it was the horses that we were developing were the ones that were going to make the splash when we got them back going. Rosetta was awesome. Oh, Hill No was good last night. Running in, you could see that. Little work to do on her. That's fine. We can get it done. Rosetta was great. It's hard to believe that she wouldn't come forward in a big way from there. 57-3 on a decent track, but a cold night. Philly's, she got some pop. Told you, she's coming forward. And then, of course, you know, Roshan Alexander, you could see she was hitting her knee. James was just holding her together. Few little changes got to be made. That's okay. Not a big deal. We can make them. She'll be back in action next week. What else is going on today or tomorrow? We have, or what went on yesterday. Looks like Money was awesome, and Arson was awesome also. I can tell you, as good as Arson was, he's going to be much better over the next 2 weeks. A couple of tight miles with some confidence builders. Man, he is going to be on point. As time gets a little bit of a rest, as the Graduate and the other stakes start to come closer, Arson will be an easy fill-in for him. He looked very, very good yesterday and felt very, very good. So that was yesterday in a nutshell. Now I get up this morning. I was up at 7:30. Am I parked wrong here? It feels like I am. Okay. I was up at 7 o'clock. I was at the barn at 7. No, I was at the barn at 7:40, 45 or 50. You know, the one sad thing about the Starbucks, the only kicker, Starbucks world, is that they don't have the strawberry syrup at all in the U.S. Only in Canada. You can get the cold foam, the strawberry cold foam. It's similar, but not quite the same. So I get syrup, went to the barn. It's the little things in life, right? Went to the barn. I got there, we were jogging the horses around. I said to Danny, I forgot to look before we went out. Simply Chaotic was just castrated not that long ago. I told you guys that. He was a little pacey going. I said, hey, is that colt okay? And he said, yeah, it's still a little bit swollen. I said, he doesn't have to train today. Just jog him. He can jog, which is perfectly fine. We trained the other horses. Nick Boyd had a horse he wanted to come with. His horse looks good. Good-looking little trotter. Doesn't just wear his bare shin boots up front. And beat us. Now, I had told Dom, you go with Riding the Rodeo. She's already been way faster than these horses. But Dom is a super conservative guy. He thought he was going to sit at the back the whole way with Riding the Rodeo, which would have been fine. Only I want to shake Dom out of that comfort zone of moderation when it comes to the babies. I don't want even quarters and even miles. You know, if we're going to go a mile in 35, I want them at the half in 21:20, right? I want them sprinting on the end of it. You guys hear me say sometimes, you've heard me say sometimes, we went too fast or we went too slow, and you think that that's something that happened, one, in the mile, but two, in the blink of an eye, and it isn't. If you get up to the first eighth even too fast in a mile, it's hard to start shaving that back to catch up, right? We want to go in Dom's mind. So if you're just an average hobby trainer and you just have a nice little horse, you just want to go a nice little mile, and I say, okay, I want to go a mile 35, 36, your brain right away says 18, 18. Absolutely, positively not. 21, 14, 21, 15. That's what I want to see, and I want to see the third quarter as slow as the first two, and the last quarter I want to tramp on it a little bit. The last 100 yards, I want those horses rocking. I want them going through the mile, into the turn, after the mile, as fast as they finished up. That's how I want our horses trained. So Dominic, I think, in his head, 36, he said, well, I'll get over the half in 18 or 20, that'll be fine. That was never going to be enough. So he ended up over the half in 18, and, you know, I know James so well. We're brothers, and James and I trained horses forever together. And I could feel the heat, the anger coming from behind me. And I told him, he was wild pulling up because we wanted to go in 35, went in 29, I think, or 30 or something, which is obviously faster than you're supposed to, but all the horses were fine going there. I was simply chaotic, had been in 36. Won a mile in 29 or 30, and he was awesome today. First time I've seen that horse since we had the OCD removed and had him castrated. I was really impressed with that horse today. Dune, the reports are right. Dune is a nice little filly. She really moves nicely and is a nice little filly. James's filly looked pretty good. Nick Boyd's horse, that's a sweet little horse he is. It looked really good. And Dom's like trying to stay in the middle of the pack finishing up. And I looked at him. We're pulling up, and he's angry at himself a little bit. I've been there a million times before because he knows that James is a little chippy. And I look at him, I said, Dahmer, here's the thing. If you've already screwed the mile up, you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube, buddy. When you get halfway down the lane, you got to let that filly dance a little bit, make sure she stays in front of everybody, and then after the wire, you let her rock through the turn. You deal with the fallout after. Take your lumps like a man. That's just what you have to do. And do you have no idea how many screaming matches James and I have got in, mostly because we're brothers, but over stuff like that. Oh, wild. And we both want the same thing, only, if James is super meticulous too. If he wants to go a mile in 34, he wants to go a mile in 34. 33 is okay, 35 fine. 29, 30, he starts to get a little rabid. And I don't really care because I just look at the training set itself. I don't care about the watch or anything. I look at the training set. My horse was awesome. Dune looked very good, right? All the horses we were going with that I saw around us looked very good. I was super happy. And James was after. He cooled down. He trained hasty bit. He was fine. We get to Mohawk, and he said, what do you think? And I said, Dom said they're ready to go in 2.5, so they're probably ready to go in 58. I said, so we'll just go, just see how they feel. So pretty strong, cold. It was cold today. My feet were froze. I get up. Now, it's still -2 Celsius. When I got to the barn, it was -7. It had to be -3 or 4 with a nasty, nasty wind. So probably -10 with the wind chill. And I said, we'll just get up the quarter 32, half in 3 or 4, and see how they feel. I get up the quarter in 32 and 1 now. I chirped to Resolve Indeed. Now, James, I said, I'll clear to the front, cut the first quarter, you come back around me, and that's that. Well, I chirped to Resolve Indeed coming out of the first turn. Ooh, got to get that snake cord on Resolve Indeed. She loves her work. Was very, very sharp today and did not want to release the lead. I had to kind of wrestle with her a little bit. So we get over the half in like 102 and 4, 103. You get up to 3/4, 133 and 4, 134, maybe a little bit slower. James was kind of walking us, and the wind it was like a crosswind. It was right in our face around the last turn, so it probably was 134 and a bit. We ended up going a mile in like 2-3 and 2-3-1, 2-3 and 2, 29 in the end of it, and I was ripping the face off Resolve Indeed going through the wire, and so was James. So we pull up, and I said, this filly's over on the right shaft a bit. Might have to get that. I saw Dr. Grossenbacher was there dealing with some clients, working with some horses, and I said to him, I said, hey, can you look at this filly, take a look at her left hind? And as I'm telling him, now we're back almost in the paddock. Remember, I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but I told you, see a little more dirt on that left. I saw a little more dirt on the left foot, quite a bit more dirt on the left foot than the right. Leads me to believe maybe a hawk was bothering her. So I pointed to him. I said, hey, filly's over on the right shaft a bit. Was very, very good and very strong training today. But over on the left shaft a bit, and I see the right shaft a bit, and I see the dirt. And he goes, oh, yeah, uh-huh. He said, okay, be later on this afternoon. I'll get to her. I'll get a look at her. I said, okay, cool. So she's ready to school and qualify twice now, and so is Chicago Hall. I didn't know how James thought of Chicago Hall. I was pulling on Resolve Indeed pretty hard going through the wire. That was a very good mile last quarter in 29 seconds in the wind, and on track was good, but still very windy, and a very good mile. He said, geez, he did that real easy, and I said, oh, cool. So we'll school next Friday, qualify twice. I want to get this filly looked at. Was there anything to look at with him? He said no, he was perfect. So great training mile this morning from the babies. We went a mile on 2:29 or 2:30, I think. I say that with uncertainty because I forgot my watch in my driving bag, but I'm surrounded by people that have watches, so I wasn't that worried about it. I can't say for certain. I thought Johnny said he went a mile in 2:28, but he started from last and circled up around us. So 2:29, 2:30, I think. Everybody that I saw in that set, including Nick's horse, including James' horse, looked good to me. I can only speak for Simply Chaotic, and I thought the horse was really, really impressive today. Very happy with what I saw. I went in with an open mind, not knowing what I would see. Would there be some residual discomfort from the procedure a little while ago? You know, I heard that he could be a little moody, a little cranky, running in, running out. Would I see any of that? And what were my thoughts on that? And as I went under the wire and really just tried to assess the entirety of the mile, I thought the horse was fantastic this morning. And then the 2 3-year-olds that went today, I thought looked exceptionally good. So it has been a great 24 hours. We were first and second in the open pace and trot at the Meadows. We were first and second in the same race, and now there's a 2 trot at Mohawk. Very happy to report that. Not disappointed with Foxy Seaside. As I said, I thought she was a little bit flat, but it didn't take very long to figure out why. That's fixed now. We can manage that very, very easily throughout the summer. I'd rather know now than some night after a stake race. So I'm happy in that regard. Excited to see what takes place tonight. I'm going to go have a little swim with the kids right now and get some lunch, head back to Ohio. Tonight we have 2 in tonight. I think I have 3 drives. 2 of them are ours, like 8th and 12th race or something. I think we have 2 or 3, I believe, at Mohawk tonight also. So it should be another good night here in Ontario and another good night at the stable. Very happy with what just took place over the last 24 hours. I hope you are as well. I will talk to you all very soon. Have a great rest of your day. It might be a little chilly here, but you know what? It is a beautiful day here in Ontario. Take care, everybody.